Out here at our test track in Groton, Michigan, we have a special project for you today that we wanted to bring you in on. That's the all-new Hurst Oldsmobile. And driving the car right now, we have Jack Watson, who came up today, and we always like to be in on the creation of something new, Jack, and it's nice to have you.
Well, Bud, it's nice to be here, and we're nice to have you in on it. We've had a pretty successful day. We've been out here wringing out suspension, drivetrain components, and we're real pleased that the tires are doing everything that we expected. We're using these new Goodyear polyglass tires, and which, by the time you take the show out of the can and show to the people after the car is released, should also be on the market. And the car, actually, with the 455 cubic inch engine and the disc brakes, not only accelerates well and handles well, but it brakes real well. We've been running braking tests on the straightaway over here, and which, as you saw, as we were doing loop-to-loops.
We've had a good time, I'll tell you. You folks will have a chance to see some of this footage on the performance of this particular car, this Hurst Oldsmobile, in just a minute. But I did want you to talk with Jack, and actually Jack is the creator of this Hurst Olds. In fact, you've created several things prior to this, haven't you, Jack?
Well, I'm afraid I'm guilty. It's true. The inception of this car came about every year. I have done a number of vehicles for different individuals in the racing fraternity, and I had done a car for George Hurst. And George, as you know, has always been a real leader in this business and wants something a little different and maybe a little better. And this is the way he's always pursued all their product development. And so the car that I had done for him seemed to create quite a bit of interest, and out of that seemed to evolve to Hurst Olds.
I know Jack is familiar to many race fans around the country, and also the creator of the Hemi under glass and that twin-engine Olds Dynamo. That was a wild one, too, wasn't it, Jack?
Well, it sure was. We've got a new one on the boards right now. It will be releasing this summer. It is going to be an Oldsmobile. What it's going to be, I just soon not say.
Oh.
But
you know what I like about this? This car, this particular car, is going to be made available to fellas all over the country.
Well, that's true. It's going to be a limited quantity reproduction. We're going to build 515 of them. But they will be available, and you will be able to see them on the street. They all will be silver and black, and I guess I've been somewhat of a believer of Henry Ford's scheme when he said that you can have it any color you want as long as it's black. Well, I figured that was good enough for him, must be good enough for me. So we'll make them any color you want as long as they're silver and black.
You can have them with the black stripes and the silver body, or the silver body and the black stripes.
Right, either way.
I like that sort of thought. We've had our fair share of supercar ring-outs here on Car and Track, and it just could be that the Hurst Olds is the silkiest bomb ever nestled between four wheels. This executive's hot rod carries its own insignia to tell the world it's a special kind of Oldsmobile. The body is probably the only thing that's directly traceable to a 442. After the car is built in Lansing, it's taken across town and rebuilt by Demmer Engineering. This is where the HO package is assembled. This road missile is the brainchild of ex-Hurst man Doc Watson, plus being marketed and warrantied by Oldsmobile. This Boulevard bully operated atop these G7014 Goodyear polyglass tires, mounted on 7-inch rims with a 112-inch wheelbase. Watson said it was set up to take 7-inch slicks, both Goodyear and M&H. This special Hurst mobile undoubtedly offers the lushest interior of any supercar on the market. The front buckets are roomy and quite soft, and a whale of a lot more comfortable than the ones behind them. Legroom in the rear is not bad. At any rate, it's a supercar that can honestly be termed a family car. Our tester had power assist steering, which takes a little getting used to on a tricky track, but the wheel is positioned perfectly for hard, high-speed cornering. The car is available only with an automatic transmission and this award-winning Hurst dual-gate shifter. All instrumentation was recessed in this walnut panel dash. Gauges were clear and easy to read. With this muscular monster under the hood, you'll never have to take a back seat in your local drive-in. 455 cubic inches, delivering 390 horsepower, a compression ratio of 10.5 to 1, and 500 foot-pounds of torque at 3,600 RPMs, plus a little thing called ram air. We also had a few other little goodies aboard, like high-performance cylinder heads, a high-lift, long-duration cam, and tuned tubular headers. All this plus air conditioning and stereo tape. This little package was every bit a gentleman around town. But here at the track, when we blasted it, the car roared out of the hole, and we had 30 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. The second time out, we went for 45 and had it in 3.5 seconds. We really wound this Silver Screamer again and again. Our best 0 to 60 run was 5.3 seconds. The fastest quarter-mile time was 13.24, the 107 miles an hour. And no matter how you slice it, that makes the Hurst Olds a goin' Jessie. After you pin your stomach to your backbone in these straight line runs, you suddenly find out she can handle through the corners with the agility of a bobcat. Jack Watson designed this car to go, handle, and stop like no other supercar on the market. And we were convinced that this car was just one notch away from the twilight zone. In the stop category, it was great. From 30 miles an hour, we shut down in 31 feet. From 45, it took 56 feet. This Hurst hot rod features disc brakes up front and drums in the rear. We made several high-speed panic stops from 65 miles an hour. The average stopping distance was 148 feet. And they were all good straight-line stops. Pedal fade at a minimum. Here's a 70-mile-an-hour stop in slow motion. Watch it. The beautiful part of this executive supercar is not the instant wallop, but the smooth, comfortable riding qualities. When a car handles this well in the corners, you expect a washboard ride. In high-speed cornering, you can steer it through with the accelerator. But don't back off too fast or she'll leave you, like this. All the suspension emphasis is placed on handling. Stabilizer bars front and rear. Spring rates on the coils are 435 pounds per inch up front, 122 pounds per inch in the rear. Well over 50% of the car's 3,600 pounds is up front. That rear stabilizer bar does a tremendous job. In extreme cornering, when the front end starts to go, a little more power brings it through the pocket in a controlled drift. To sum it up, this car is more fun than a Mau convention on Saturday night. And with air conditioning and stereo, it's the only way to fly.